This is KGW News at noon.
And we start with breaking news. I-84 has just reopened after it shut down for about 30 minutes this morning. From this ODOT camera, you can see traffic is moving again through the Lloyd district. Police were dealing with a person in crisis right at I-84 and Grand Avenue. Cars traveling both east and westbound had to detour off the interstate. We're told the person in crisis is now in the hospital. If we get any more information relevant to this situation, we'll certainly update you on KGW.com.
And as the United States seeks to rally the world to action, we will lead not just with the example of our power, but God willing with the power of our example.
Earlier today, President Joe Biden on the world stage. You just watched part of his address to the 76th session of the United Nations General Assembly. This was Biden's first speech to the United Nations as president. He talked about a lot of things during his address, including pandemic relief, help for Afghanistan, and climate change. The president says none of those goals can be accomplished without a global effort.
We must also engage deeply with the rest of the world. To ensure that our own future, we must work together with other partners, our partners toward a shared future. Our security, our prosperity, and our very freedoms are interconnected, in my view, as never before.
After his speech, President Biden met with Australia's Prime Minister. He thanked Australia for being a reliable ally and stressed the importance of partnerships with other countries. It was rough going in Salem today when it comes to redrawing districts for Oregon's House, Senate, and congressional seats. A vote on the Democratic plan was supposed to happen this morning, but Republicans asked for a delay. That vote is now scheduled in about an hour at 1 o'clock. Yesterday, a redistricting deal fell apart after House Speaker Tina Kotek reneged on her promise to share power with Republicans. She ended up creating a new commission of mostly Democrats so they could redraw the maps without GOP support. Kotek claims she got rid of the bipartisan committees because Republicans were thwarting the process. If the new boundaries aren't approved by September 27th, Democratic Secretary of State Shemia Fagan will step in. She'll be in charge of redrawing lines for state seats, and a panel of judges will oversee the congressional maps. Now to the latest controversy in the Newburgh School District. For weeks, people have been saying it has a problem with racism, and now a district staffer is on leave after coming to work in blackface. KGW's Mike Benner has reaction from the superintendent and parents.
Monday afternoon in Newburgh, as students stream out of Mabel Rush Elementary School, news about a staffer placed on administrative leave is just starting to spread. KGW has learned that employee showed up to work late last week in blackface.
Kind of like a blow. It was bad to know it was in the Newburgh School District and then to find out that it was my daughter's school. It was just, surprising.
District officials won't say why the staffer dressed in blackface, but the Newburgh Graphic reports that person wanted to resemble Rosa Parks while protesting the vaccine mandate.
Vile. That was vile. And I was shocked in a way, but also not surprised in a way, because look at where we are. As a community, we're divided. We're angry. People are acting out in ways that they haven't before. District
parent Ty Hardin-Moore blames the Newburgh School Board. This summer, Director Brian Shannon came up with a proposal directing the superintendent to get rid of all Black Lives Matter and Pride symbols in district facilities. The ban has since been altered to images that depict support or opposition relating to a political, quasi-political, or controversial topic, and the board is still discussing the matter.
I really believe that they have unleashed something in this community that we have to address. And the thing that they've unleashed in this community, in my opinion, is racism.
Just last week, we learned some Newburgh High School students participated in a Snapchat group chat called Slave Trade, where they joked about how much they'd pay for their black classmates in a slave auction. On Monday, Superintendent Dr. Joe Morlock addressed that and the recent blackface incident.
The students of color of Newburgh deserve so much more. This goes against everything I and the vast majority of NSD staff believe, and it is unfathomably offensive.
As we found out, all of this has some parents second-guessing their decision to send their kids to Newburgh schools.
It's just one thing after another, and for a parent, I think you question, sending your kid to school after a while. I mean, I do.
The district would not tell us if this employee involved in the Blackface incident is on paid or unpaid leave, only that the Human Resources Department has launched an investigation that could result in a number of disciplinary actions, including termination. We'll, of course, stay on top of the story. Reporting in Newburgh, I'm Mike Benner for KGW News.
In COVID news, students in Portland Public Schools can now get free testing for the virus. Here's how it works. Each week, kids who opt in will receive a take-home test kit. They'll collect a saliva sample, which schools will send off to OHSU to be processed. The results will come back in about 48 hours. Right now, PPS is prioritizing K-5 students who aren't eligible for a COVID shot yet. Well, when it comes to combating climate change, Oregon State University is a national leader. It's working on technology to remove carbon dioxide from the air. Facilities that filter carbon are popping up all around the globe. The world's largest just opened this month in Iceland. Now an OSU chemistry professor is getting involved. May Nyman was tapped to lead a $24 million federal project. She and her team will develop a molecular mixture of sorts that reacts with CO2 in the air and removes it.
So if you just leave some of this, sitting on your lab bench, or if you will, in your carbon capture plant, it just takes the carbon dioxide right out of the air.
Professor Nyman says this is an opportunity to teach future generations of scientists how to help solve our climate problems. Impressive work. All right, let's head back to the Weather Center because we are enjoying our last hours of summer, and Roger heating things up.
Won't be long before you'll be saying we are enjoying our final hours of sunshine. Meaning that's the season we're starting to get into, right? All right, here we go. Cannon Beach, beautiful clear skies. Everybody is clear. And for the most part, everybody's going to be in a temperature range that you would expect more like early August, late July. So a very nice summer day. Look at all the folks out walking. The tide looks like it's slightly out, 65 degrees. That's current in Cannon Beach. Most of the beaches will be up into the 70s this afternoon. All right, a couple of golf courses. Here's Camas Meadows Live. Look at that blue sky out there. We do expect some winds eventually coming out along the Columbia River this afternoon from the east. Could be some breezy gusts to 20, 25 miles per hour, that sort of thing. Perfectly calm out in Washington County, and there, the calm wind report. It's 74. That's the Reserve Vineyards and Golf Club out in Aloha. Downtown Portland right now sitting at 70. We could bump up to about 84. Very high confidence we will at least get up into the low 80s this afternoon, and then 76 at 8 o'clock. We do have a weather system coming tomorrow. Tomorrow's the first day of fall, and I'll have all of that coming up.
All right, we'll see you then. Thanks, Rod.